Waking up to the news that Jimmy Buffett passed was the most tragic thing ever. I was practically raised on Jimmy Buffett's music, so it's been so sad seeing that he passed and seeing everybody post the tributes. But did you know that Jimmy Buffett also had a cult-like following? And since we talk about all things cults, and especially pop culture cults here, let's talk about it. Taylor Swift has Swifties and Jimmy Buffett has Parrot Heads. There's even a whole ass documentary about them. That's super culty. Band member Timothy Schmidt, who was also a band member in the Grateful Dead, coined the name Parrot Heads because most of Jimmy Buffett's diehard fans wore Hawaiian shirts all the time that often had parrots on them, and it was kind of a play on the Grateful Dead's Deadheads. I always say when it comes to like culty red flags or guru warning signs, the more diehard someone's like raving fan base is, the more like guru-ish or culty the group can be. Parrot Heads and the cult of Jimmy Buffett, though, seem to be pretty healthy or least harmful on the culty spectrum. I found this article in Entertainment that said that Parrot Heads seem to be like one of the happiest, though most unusual, pop culture cults. And another article I read called them the most adult and thus seemingly most mature pop culture cults that existed for such a long time. Although they could get really crazy, Jimmy Buffett himself said that Parrot Heads were like a great group of people, although a little insane sometimes, and that could come out during concerts. Jimmy Buffett said that they had a list of songs that were "we must play these at every show or die" songs because Parrot Heads loved them so much and were so obsessed. Apparently, one of the leaders of some of like the Parrot Head organizations even started a charity in the name of the Jimmy Buffett fandom. Parrot Heads were also known to help out other Parrot Heads at times when people fell on hard times. There was even a story of one like older woman Parrot Head who said that the Parrot Heads and Jimmy Buffett's music got her through neck surgery. And I think Jimmy Buffett himself even like visited her or did something for her. They were just known for like helping each other out a lot and being there for each other. I was actually talking to one of my mom's friends earlier this morning, and she said she had a friend that like moved their entire life and livelihood to Florida because they were such a Parrot Head and they wanted to be in more Parrot Head communities and live that Margaritaville lifestyle. And it's actually really, really common for people to retire to different places in Florida that have really big Parrot Head communities. When I think about packing up your whole life to move to a specific location, I'm like, sounds a little culty. My TikTok friend, who is Livy Smalls or Chef Liv Vasquez here, I will tag her in this video. She's actually posted some really sweet tributes to Jimmy Buffett. She said one of her first jobs was working at Margaritaville in Universal, and I believe in City Walk. And she said that Jimmy Buffett was like the best boss she ever had. She told some really cute, sweet, funny stories about him and said that he was an all-around like really good guy. He knew everyone who worked there by name, and she said they all had like a great relationship with him. So Jimmy Buffett just sounds, as far as cult leaders go, he just sounds lovely. Parrot Heads have been around for a long time. This was a really good article about them that was written all the way back in 1990, or maybe before, because it says updated in 90. And Parrot Heads have been well established by then for many years. And Jimmy Buffett built quite the career off of this absolutely rabid raving fan base. Between his music and his like Margaritaville stores, he was like a businessman through and through and sold all kinds of things and merch and invested in like dive bars. And he even wrote best-selling books that people thought would like never do well because it was Jimmy Buffett and he was like a beach bum singer. But he really capitalized off this beach bum lifestyle and off this absolutely rabid raving fan base, and he is a legend for it. Did the cult of Parrot Heads ever go to the dark side though? I don't know. I couldn't find a whole lot on it. The worst that I found was that, you know, some people said that Jimmy Buffett wasn't really like the laid back guy that he built this brand around because he was such a businessman. He was kind of a workaholic. So some people say that like he did kind of put on a persona that wasn't truly who he was as a person. Some people said he was really shy and sometimes like really cynical about his fan base. But then again, I hear stories from people like Liv who say that he was really kind and like really built relationships with people that worked for him and was like really grateful for this raving fan base, though he may not have always understood it, which, you know, might be more of a healthy trait to have in someone with such a cult-like following, because while Jimmy Buffett definitely capitalized off of his cult, I don't know that he was like too terrible about it or too... It doesn't seem like he exploited them. Rest in peace, Jimmy Buffett. This man was well loved and he will be very, very, very missed.